Okay, now let's sort of pull the structure apart. Let's have a look at, I always say that you need to look at, if you follow this recipe and put all your arguments and all your supporting details into sections, you will find it a lot easier to write this using this particular genre. So your structure, this is where you state your position, you outline your arguments, and you state future recommendations. Okay, so let's have a closer look at what you've actually got to do. Now, your introduction is your first paragraph of your piece of writing. Now, this is where you will grab the reader's attention and appeal to their emotions. This is the most important part. If you lose your reader in the introduction, they're not going to read the rest of your piece of writing. So you want to grab them and get them straight away. So your topic sentence, so your first sentence of your piece of writing has to have a hook or a grabber or something exciting. You want to open with an unusual detail or a really strong statement, a quotation even, a question. Try not to open every paragraph with a question. Use it carefully. Open with an exaggeration or even an outrageous statement. Something that's going to get the reader to go, oh my goodness, what are they writing about? What have they got to say? Or, hey, I really don't agree with what they're saying. So, appeal to their emotions. Now, the middle part of that introductory paragraph is about 5 or 6 sentences. This is just a guide. You want to briefly mention each of the arguments that you're going to talk about. Do not use your supporting details here. Don't bring out, your show now. You want to save that for later on, but you just want to briefly touch on the arguments that you're going to talk about in your piece of writing. Simply state what you're going to be talking about. Now, the concluding sentence of that introduction is where you will restate that argument and what impact your point of view will have on the reader. So it's at that point you want to sort of appeal to the reader and say how this topic is going to impact on that reader. Is it going to be good for them? Is it going to be bad for them? And appeal to their emotions. Now, this is sort of like the body, the guts of your piece of writing. This is where all the good stuff happens. The body will consist of about 3 paragraphs. Now, you can write more than this if you want to. It is not, every piece of persuasive writing has to have 3 paragraphs in the middle, in the body. No, this is just a beginner. If you're sort of going for that top B and A range of grade for your assessment task, you're probably going to want to go to about 4 or 5 paragraphs as part of the body. So let's start with 3 paragraphs to get ourselves going. Each of those 3 paragraphs need to have the following. Okay, so every paragraph within that body has to have this. So again, sticking to that little recipe. You need to have a topic sentence, which will introduce your argument. That's in 1 sentence. You need to have a series of supporting sentences, which are the facts and details that support the argument. And this will consist of 5 or 6 sentences. Again, this is a guide. A concluding sentence to finish it all off. Restate that argument in 1 sentence. You're not going to say that argument, write it in exactly the same way as you did in that topic sentence. You're going to reword it, okay? Now, it's just very important that you understand that each new paragraph is a new argument. 3 paragraphs, 3 arguments. Okay, let's have a look now at your conclusion, how you're going to sort of sum your piece of writing up. It is at this point that you want to leave your reader in no doubt of what you believe in, end with a prediction of what might or should happen in the future. This is where you sort of bring together all your ideas, sum them up, and leave your reader with a little bit of hope, a little bit of this is what we should be doing. Okay, give them a type of solution at the end. Summarize the most important details of the argument in your conclusion. Now, again, a little recipe for your conclusion. In your topic sentence, restate your argument in that first sentence. Then, in the following 5 to 6 sentences, I'll just go back there, sorry about that. Restate your argument in that topic sentence, then summarize the main points in the following 5 or 6 sentences, and then your final sentence you will close with a future recommendation. What do you think the reader should do now?